Hello, darling. It's great to see you again, and thanks for joining me for today's video. Okay, so today I'm going to start where I left off from last time. Because what happened is that last time I was adding some finishing touches to the van, because there's a few things that I want to do as well as I need to do before I hit the road, including adding some more storage compartments as well as some more decor. And what happened is that last time when I was adding those finishing touches to the van, suddenly I became unwell, so therefore I couldn't finish working on the van. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to start where I left off from last time. And what happens is that, how do I say this in a good way, is that the reason why I became unwell was because of my trauma. If you experience trauma, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Because if you experience abuse and trauma, especially chronic trauma, what happens is that manifests in your body as symptoms and disorders and disease and so on. And in case you don't know, because you're new to my channel, is that I'm a recovering domestic violence victim survivor. And because of my trauma, which has resulted in me being anemic, as well as anxiety, depression, and PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, including nightmares every night, as well as intrusive thoughts each day, So therefore, like for example, if I dream, say, 5 dreams per night, I will have 5 nightmares per night. And because I can never get a good night's sleep because of the nightmares, so for that reason I'm always feeling, fatigued, tired and drained all the time. And what happens is that occasionally it will all catch up with me, and I did not know this until the ambulance driver told me. And that's every time I think about what happened, or dream about what happened, or talk about what happened, my heartbeat starts racing, goes all the way up to 190, and I can't control my body. So therefore, because my heartbeat is constantly racing all the time, that is draining valuable energy that I need, So therefore, I don't have the energy to do what I want to do when I want to do it, And so what happened last time when I was working on the van is that maybe I overdid things a little bit, And so it caught up with me and manifested in symptoms of an illness. And all of a sudden, I just felt so unwell that I could not continue working on the band. And so, because it has taken me a few days to recover from that, so therefore that has slowed me down. But that's okay, because I'll catch up. I mean, I'll get there eventually. I know that. And the thing is, there's not much left I need to do on the band. So I'm hoping to have it all done today, or at least most of it done today. And so what I need to do is, I've got this here. This is a storage compartment that I bought from Temu. And this goes around the side of your bed. It hangs on the base of your bed, so you can hang shoes or whatever, which is a great idea. And it comes with hooks, so you can hang up the hooks over the base of your bed. However, the hooks don't fit my bed. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use nails to hang this along the side of my bed. And I've also got this here, which is from my bedroom in my apartment, which I'm going to put over here on the shelf over there, so I can hang up my cardigan and whatever else. And so I have a few more storage compartments that I need to put in the van, because they are so handy. I also want to do some more decor. I don't know if I have enough decor or not, but I'll figure it out. I also need to wash the bedding, but I'm not sure if I will get that done today or not. I also want to put the yoga mat underneath the mattress on the bed to make it a little bit more comfortable. And because my bed is wood, and one of my subscribers said, to drill holes in the bed, and that way to avoid mold, because with the holes in the bed, that keeps the air circulating, which is a great idea. And I will do that, but I'm not going to do that today, because I need to get the part for the drill, so I can drill the holes in the bed. So I'll worry about that another time, but I will get around to drilling some holes in the bed. Okay, so I'm going to use, I've got here my USB hot glue gun. I've also got my normal hot glue gun that plugs into my power station, which I'm going to use for the decor. So I've got here is my my electric drill, which I'm going to use to drill some holes along in the shelf over there, so I can hang this up. As well as along the bed, so I can hang up that storage compartment that I just showed you. That can go over there for now. So yeah, so I don't know how much I'm going to get done today, but I'll do as much as I can, of course. I mean, thank goodness I'm feeling so much better today. Oh my God, I couldn't believe how long it took me to get over last time when I became unwell, but that does happen to me occasionally, because it's all because of the trauma that I experienced, because all that trauma has now manifested in my body as anemia, as anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, like I just said. And there's no cure, so you just have to cope the best that you can, So like I said, if you suffer from chronic trauma, you will know exactly what I'm talking about and how I feel. And so that's why occasionally I become unwell, and that's why I become unwell last time in my last video. And it was also hot in the van that day too, so the heat didn't help either, but thank goodness it's a lot cooler today. So yeah, so I'm not sure where I'm going to start. Maybe I'll start with putting this up. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? Woohoo! Now I need to put the other screw into here. And guess what? I can't find where the other screw went, so I think I have another one. Okay, so I can't find the other screw, so I've decided to use a nail instead, so I don't know if that's going to work or not. Well, it seems to be holding firm. Can you see that? Let's see if I can move this out the way. Oh no. Oh, look what I've done. I forgot about this. I wanted to put this over here. Well, not to worry. What I'm going to do now is I'll take this curtain off. Okay. Okay, so what I've done is I've just used a nail in here. As you can see, I'll bring you closer. It's a bit dark in here, if you can see. That's better, can you see? Let's try it again. So I'll just use a nail here for now. I've got the screw in there. So what I'm going to do is when I find another screw, I'll take that nail out and put the screw in there. And I'm heating up my USB hot glue gun. And I'm going to glue these up here. So I've got one on this side here. And the other one will be on this side down here. Okay, so what I've done, as you can see, is I've taken, hang on, let's put this light back up there. Is I've taken the curtain off this shelf here. And, I mean, it's better without the curtain because the curtain was always getting in the way, but I like to have the curtain there to cover the shelf, so what I'm thinking of doing is like this side here. I'll put this same lace from here up along here, and I'll cut the curtain out there and put the curtain from there. So instead of having the curtain this long covering the whole lot, I'll have the curtain just say this long, just covering this part here. So maybe that will work out to be better. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. Guess what? Now I found the screw. Oh well, let's fix that up now, shall we? Okay, so now I've fixed it up. That's on there nice and solid. Can you see? Voila. I can't believe I did it all by myself. Can you believe that? Oh my God. So now I can hang up my cardigan or whatever. Okay, so now, where are they? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll glue these on like I usually do with everything else. I'm going to use B700 glue mixed together with the hot glue. Ooh, that's already working. Okay. As you can see, so that's what it looks like so far. Now it's starting to look exactly how I had envisioned it. So we got this one here, B700 glue. Like so. Then the hot glue. And the hot glue goes on top. Like so. And we just hold that against there for a minute or two. And voila, what do you think? Do you like it? It's just for decoration. What do you think? Do you like it? I do. What am I sitting on? I'm sitting on the hammer. Okay, so I've got some coloured doilies here, which I'm going to put along here. Okay, so what I've done is I've used the B700 glue together with the hot glue to put up the doilies. So I'll put another one up here, another one up here. I've done these. Another one up here. And over here too, as you can see. Okay, so what I've done is I've put the lace along the side there, as you can see. And I'll cut out the curtain and put the curtain from here across there like so. Getting a bit hot in here now. Okay, so what I've done is I've measured and cut the curtain and I've glued that on. So I'll give you a look. As you can see, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more lace. I'll put the lace along the top there like that. So I think that looks a lot better. I think it's important to have the curtain over the shelf, then that way you can hide whatever's on the shelf. So therefore, by doing that, it just makes it look a lot more neater. Okay, so the USB hot glue needs to be recharged. So now I'm using my other hot glue gun. So while I'm waiting for that to heat up, I'm going to do this. So I had to put a coat hanger into this storage compartment. So I'll be able to store small things, which is going to go at the end of the back shelf up there. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's very hard to film on that angle because there's not much space there. So what I've done is I've put that storage compartment on the end of the shelf there in the back, which I'm going to use to store, I don't know, small things. I don't know yet, but I'll find out when the time comes. At least it's there, but if I find something small, it can go in there, so they're very handy. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but what I've done is I've put a basket here. Can you see that? Hang on a minute, let me try again. Now that's better. So I put this basket along here. At the moment, I don't know what I'm going to use to store in that basket. I'm thinking probably going to use it like for dry herbs and spices, because that rack is my kitchen rack, where as you can see, this box here, that box here if you can see, that's where I keep all of my kitchen utensils, my cooking equipment is where I keep my 12-volt Rode Pro roaster and my mini gas stove and all the kitchen gadgets. So that shelf there is just for kitchen. And up the top there in those baskets up there is where I'm going to keep dry foods such as pasta, rice, polenta, etc. So I think it might be a good idea to use that basket to put dehydrated herbs and spices. Well, that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Okay, so what I've done is I've glued the pink lace to the top of the curtain. Let's give you a look. As you can see. Now, doesn't that look a lot better? Now, that's exactly how that looks now. With the mirrors, the curtains, the lace and all that. That is exactly how, or not exactly how, but just like how I had envisioned when I first got my van, you know, because when I first got my van, back in 2021, you know, I had this, I envisioned, you know, what I wanted it to look like when it was finished. And this is exactly how, from the ceiling to the shelves, to the curtains, you know, everything. And I can't believe I'm almost there. Woohoo! Oh my God. I can't believe I'm almost there. There's not much left to do on the van. So therefore, the van should be ready by next week, I hope. Woohoo! Oh my God. So much hard work. It takes a long time just to get something small done. And not everything goes to plan. So when one way doesn't work, you have to find another way that does work. And so that's what's happened. Putting up my shoe rack. So, as you can see, I finally got it up. And so what I've done is I've just tethered, I don't know if you can see or not, that's the best angle that I can get. There's not much room at the back here. And then underneath that, hang on, let me try again. Okay, so we've got the shoe rack up here, and underneath down here, we've got the other compartment. I hope you can see that. Oh, because there's not much room at the back, so I don't have much room to film on. That's what I've done so far. So I'm really happy with what I've done so far. Whew, oh my God, now it's getting hot in here again. Oh my God. So I think I've done enough for today. There's no way I'm going to get it all done today because I'll be here all day and all night. So I'm better off to do it in intervals There's not much left to do, only a couple more things left to do. Woohoo, and I'm done. So, I still need to put that up. So like I said, because the hooks that you hang that off don't fit my bed. So I'm going to have to use nails. I think nails might be a good idea. And I've also got these hooks here, which I'm going to use in the shelves, on both sides of the shelves. So I screw it into the ceiling, into the top of the roof, so I can hang things from. And one thing that I found with the shelves that I have in my van is that I'm not sure what kind of wood that is, but I've noticed it's very, very hard to nail a nail into it. So I might have to drill some holes first with my electric drill maybe. This is what I was thinking. And then screw that into the hole. Maybe that will work, I don't know. But I can give it a try. And I still want to put up some more decor, but there's not much to do. I still need to finish the ornament and knick-knack shelf, but I've been here all day just doing a few things, and I can't believe how long it has taken me to do a few things. But that always happens when I'm working on my van. I notice everything takes longer to do in a van, and I don't know why. That's just how it is. You know, even when I notice when I'm living in my van, when I'm staying in my van, just doing things like cooking, cleaning, etc. You know, everything takes a lot longer to do. But I suppose that's van life, isn't it? And one thing that van life has taught me is to be patient. Very, very patient, because you need to be really patient when you're doing van life and you're living in a van. So if you're not a patient person, then maybe van life isn't for you. You know, so you have to be really patient when you're doing van life. That's definitely something that I have learned over the years, ever since I've had my van. And I've had my van since 2021. And ever since then, I've been doing van life part-time. And I've done the whole conversion myself. And so what I've done is I've just done a bit here and a bit there when I could, you know. And like I said, I've almost finished it now, which is good. I've only got a few more things to do. I still need to wash the bedding, but I might do that tomorrow or another day. But it has to be done before the end of the week. That's the most important. And I also want to put the yoga mat on the bed, but underneath the mattress, just to give me that little bit more comfort, you know. But I'm exhausted. So I've done enough for today. Oh my God, I am knackered. But like I said earlier, you know, because I'm anemic, and because my heartbeat is constantly racing all the time, because of the trauma. So therefore I don't have a lot of energy that I would like to have. And that also means that I have to rest often. So I'm starting to feel exhausted now. So I've learned that it's important for me, not to push myself too hard and to always listen to my body. And when my body says, okay, it's time to rest, you've done enough, I have to learn to do that. And that's why I need to be more patient with myself, which is not always easy for me to do. But this is something that I'm learning to deal with, and I have to deal with it whether I like it or not, I need to learn how to be more patient with myself and not to push myself too hard, because every time I do, it always comes back to bite me, like what happened last time in my last video when all of a sudden I wasn't feeling well. And then it took me a few days just to recover from that. And I don't want to go through that ever again. I mean, it's not a nice feeling, And it's not nice spending a few days in bed, just trying to recover from that, and so this is why I need to listen to my body. And right now, my body is saying to me, okay, you've done enough. It's time to rest and worry about doing the van another day. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So that's another thing that I've learned since I've had my van, is to, listen to my body, and it's most important that you listen to your body and listen to what your body is trying to tell you, because you don't want to keep ignoring your body when it's trying to tell you something important about your health. And that reminds me, on Thursday, I'm going to have some tests done on my gut, like I mentioned in my last video, where I'm going to have an ultrasound and a scan done on my gut, because I've been having a lot of pain, and I don't know what's causing the pain. So I'm hoping I'm going to find out what's causing the pain. Hopefully there's nothing major wrong. I mean, better up to be on the safe side. That's how I look at it, But, yeah, so on Thursday, I'll worry about that when Thursday comes. So, I mean, that could be another thing, which I've been thinking about, my gut, that could be another thing that I have to deal with my health, on top of everything else, because like I said, I'm anemic, I have anxiety, I have depression, I have post-traumatic stress disorder, I have nightmares every night, I have intrusive thoughts every day, and because I can never get a good night's sleep, and because my heartbeat is constantly racing, because of the trauma, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy being a domestic violence victim survivor, I mean, I've come such a long, long way. And I've had to do a lot of work on myself. You know, I've done all different kinds of things to help improve myself, including reading self-help books, talking to my psychologist, spending time in my van, you know, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, meditation, breathing exercises, etc. You know, there's so many things that I have done to help myself to overcome my trauma. But it's so hard. It is it's so hard. It never gets any easier. The nightmares will stop. The intrusive thoughts never stop. It never stops. No matter how much time has gone by, it never stops. It never goes away. That trauma feeling, it never goes away. Never. It always keeps coming back again and again and again. This is why I need to get my van done, so I can spend more time in my van. Because that's one of the main things that helps me. I mean, it's not a cure, but at least it's something that helps me, that helps my trauma. I mean, spending time in my van, it doesn't stop the intrusive thoughts. It doesn't stop the nightmares. But it helps me to calm down during the daytime, which is good. Because I'm not in my apartment. You know, because what happened, as you know, or maybe you don't know because you're new to my channel, is that because the domestic violence happened in an apartment. So therefore, when I'm in my apartment, even though I'm safe there, I mean, it's my apartment, it's only me and Callie there. However, my brain thinks, I'm not safe. I'm not in a safe place. But when I'm in my van, because the domestic violence never happened in a van, so therefore my brain thinks, I'm in a safe place so I can relax, you know? And this is why I'm doing van life for me. So it's like a therapy for me. It's like my therapy. And the thing is, every time I go back into my apartment, it's not long before sooner or later, that trauma feeling always comes back. And oh my God, it is horrible. Absolutely horrible, you know. Like, for example, one day I went to have a shower, and automatically I just turned the taps off, and I walked into the lounge room, and that feeling was so overwhelming and so strong. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? There's no one here to hurt me. You know, there's no one here to bash me after I have a shower. There's no one here to come into the shower while I'm having a shower with a big kitchen knife, long kitchen knife like this, going whack, 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 like in the film Psycho. You know, but because that feeling was so overwhelming and so strong, I couldn't have a shower. I had to wait until that feeling went away before I could have a shower, you know. I mean, chronic trauma, oh my God, it's the worst thing. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, you know. And yet I know that there are so many people, you know, all over the world who have chronic trauma too. You know, whether it's been from a car accident or an illness or domestic violence like my experience or whatever, a natural disaster maybe. You know, the symptoms of chronic trauma are always the same. Nightmares, intrusive thoughts, overwhelming feelings, you know, that never goes away. And I'm starting to realize now that I'm going to have the nightmares for the rest of my life, including the intrusive thoughts. I'm going to have to put up with them for the rest of my life too, you know. And like I said, there's no cure. There's no medications that can help. I mean, I tried taking antidepressants, which did help me for a little while, like made me feel really happy, but I had to go off them because they didn't agree with me and they ended up making me really sick. So I can't take antidepressants, you know. But if you have chronic trauma, you know, and if you experience burnout and all that stuff too, you know, you're just going to have to find ways that help you. And because everyone is different, you know, like for example, like meditation and breathing exercises might help one person, but they might not help another person because everyone is different and vice versa, you know. So what my advice would be is to just try anything and everything and just say what works for you. And when you find something that works for you, whether it be meditation or breathing exercises or CBT or whatever, you know, you start doing whatever that works for you. And that's all that I did, you know. It took me a long time to discover that there's only two things that help me, and that's CBT, which is cognitive behavioural therapy, as well as spending time in my van, you know. But, you know, other things just don't work for me, you know. But that doesn't mean to say that, you know, just because those other things don't work for me, you know, that doesn't mean to say that those things aren't going to work for you or for someone else. You see what I mean? So, therefore, the best advice I can give you is to just try anything and everything and just see what works for you. And when you find something that works for you, then stay with that. But I do think it's about time that scientists and researchers found a cure for post-traumatic stress disorder and chronic trauma and nightmares and all that. They can do so many other things. They can cure so many other diseases, and yet they can't do anything to help, post-traumatic stress disorder or to stop nightmares. Oh my God, I can't believe it. They can do this and do that, but they can't do something simple like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But that's how it is. So therefore, it's up to us. It's up to people who have chronic trauma, to help themselves and to find something, whatever that may be, And I hope you do find something that helps your chronic trauma. And the reason why spending time in my van helps me is because, like I said, the domestic violence never happened in a van. So therefore, my brain thinks, I'm in a safe place so I can relax, But, But it doesn't stop the nightmares though, does it? But at least it does help, so it's better than nothing, isn't it? And I notice I'm spending time like I've been bitten by a mosquito, so I'm going to close the door. Oh my God. I shouldn't have opened up the door. Where's the green tree wipes? I've got green tree wipes. Whenever I get bitten by a mosquito, I use green tree, whether you have it in green tree oil or wipes or whatever, that will help you with your, with getting relief from the stinging from the mosquito bite. And so it always pays to use mosquito repellent. And I do have a mosquito, repellent light, those blue lights. But I'm not sure where it is. It's around somewhere, but I can't find it. So if I can't find it, I'll just get another one. But yeah, so if you're going to do van life, make sure you invest in a good mosquito repellent. It's most important. Because as I've discovered, there's nothing worse than being eaten alive by mosquitoes. And that happens a lot in van life, as I've noticed. Okay, so this video's been coming up for 53 minutes. I think that's long enough. I don't want to make a video longer than an hour unless I have to, But I'm glad that I'm feeling a lot better today. Like I said, because it took me a few days to recover from last time. It has slowed me down, but that's okay because I'll catch up. I'm happy with what I've done today, and I've only got a couple more things to do before I finish working in the van, so woohoo! So that's good. Okay, so I'll show you what I've done today. So I'll put up some more doilies around the ceiling, as you can see. So different coloured doilies. Aren't they pretty? I love doilies. And I've also done, the shelf over here where I've put the mirrors and the curtains up. So where's the light? Let me grab the light. As you can see, so I've done the mirrors, I've done the lace, I've done the curtain, I've put that up. And that looks a lot better. And I'll put up here the shoe rack, the shoe holder. And over here, this other little storage compartment where I can store little things. Oh my God. Whew. There's not much room at the back here. So that's the best way I could show you what I've done at the back here. But, so I hope you could see that, but yeah. So I'll give you a look at the van. So, where's the light gone? I'll move the light up here. So we've done the shelf. And the shelf too, the curtains and the lace. We put the doilies up on the roof. I've done some more decor. I've done the dream catchers, the feather, and the flowers. So it's almost done. I'm really happy with what I've done today. And over here, as you can see, this is an olive branch with lights. So I've done that too. Isn't that pretty? So that's my ornament and knick-knack shelf. So we're getting there slowly. Yeah, so that's another thing that I forgot to show you before. That's another thing that I've done today, is fix up that little olive tree or olive branch in the vase over there, as you can see. So pretty. Yeah, so I'm getting there slowly. But like I said, it's almost done, so I'll do the storage compartment another day. So with that one, all I need to do is nail 4 nails into the wood so I can hang that up, because the hooks don't work on that. But that's okay, because when one way doesn't work, we just find another way to do that, because us van lifers are problem solvers, aren't we? I don't look at anything like it's an obstacle, you know, no matter what it is. You know, I just think, okay, we just need to find another way to do it. Simple as that. I don't see anything as an obstacle. I see it as a challenge, but not an obstacle. And then if you do find another way, and if that way doesn't work, then you just keep finding other ways until you make it work. Simple as that. Okay, so I'm going to end this video here because it's been going for an hour. So thanks for joining me for today's video. Please subscribe to my channel to support me, and don't forget to give my videos a thumbs up, and I will see you darling in my next video. So until then, please take care, and of course drive safely. Bye bye darlings.